her surprise, Sierra did get a call from that impulsive inquiry that was actually done in a fit of restless boredom. In all honesty, she had not really been looking for a different job. That had been a reactionary bluff. The truth was she really liked the law agency that she worked for and the people that she associated with daily. Nevertheless, when the telephone call came, and more out of intrigue and surprise and a sense of curiosity, Sarah agreed to follow up with the interview. On December 27, 2006, exactly 2 days after Christmas, an extremely curious Sierra was seated across the desk from Cornell Allen. The name Cornell was misleading because the personnel director of the agency turned out to be a woman in her early 50s. In addition, the advertised position was offered to Sierra virtually carte blanche, without any questions about her employment background, her reasons why she needed employment, nothing at all. Could she start immediately? In addition, the salary was over $3,000 a month. $10,000 to be for the 3 months, along with immediate travel and personal expenses. In fact, it was an offer monetarily that Sierra was not prepared to pass up. And yes, she assured the woman, she could be packed and on the road by the end of the week. What happened in the brief interview and in the hours following transpired so rapidly that the young woman was to wonder later at the swift change of events, not to mention an absolute amazement at her spontaneous reaction, so unlike her normal behavior, because within hours, Sierra's existence as she knew it was completely changed. The following Saturday, as the sun was struggling to light the bleak horizon and in a heightened sense of anticipation, the newly hired Sierra made her way toward her destination. On the seat of her red economy-sized Kia automobile was a printout of a MapQuest direction. Due to the driver's need for soothing music, the car's stereo radio was set on the station that only played the oldies but goodies country music. As the miles lengthened, taking Sierra from her home and all that was familiar, she again wondered at the speed that the woman who had just hired her set things into motion. Over and over again, she had replayed the brief interview and the competent, if abrupt way, Mrs. Cornell Adam had efficiently sped her on her way. The conclusion was that the woman who looked for all the world like someone's sweet, middle-aged grandmother appears to the contrary, very competent at her job. In hindsight, Sarah was now wondering if the woman even took a day off for Christmas. This assumption was due to the immediate response Sierra received when she posted her inquiry about the position. Sierra shifted her focus from Cornell Adam, her new employer, to her destination. According to the information given to her by this woman, the house that would be her home belonged to a businessman named Gabriel Faulkner. What the actual nature of the man's business was not explained. What had been explained was that Mr. Faulkner apparently built a lodge that he inhabited frequently or infrequently as his schedule dictated, and that recently his housekeeper of many years died suddenly, leaving him without a woman to take care of the place. So you're saying that what he really is looking for is a housekeeper? Sierra had inquired. No, Mrs. Allen denied. Mr. Faulkner only wants a temporary person in residence on the property while he is away for the next few months. He has business out of the country, and with Mrs. Vanderholt, the woman paused, looking away as if her attention was momentarily diverted, and then she resumed. Leaving so suddenly, he wants the furniture and carpets kept swept and the rooms kept heated against dampness and mold. The house is to be kept clean and in readiness for when Mr. Faulkner is able to return home. The duties are listed on the pages that I gave you. Nothing more is required, the woman stated firmly. You may choose a room for yourself and feel at home. No one will bother you, I assure you, she added. This is the man's home. I thought it was a hunting lodge or something, Sarah had questioned in confusion. Well, that's what he likes to call it, Mrs. Allen replied chucklingly. But you will see, it is really quite charming from the photographs I've seen of the house and the grounds. I don't know about the furniture. I am sure that all but bachelors would be what he would choose. He's a bachelor? Sierra questioned in surprise. Mr. Faulkner is not married at the present time, Mrs. Allen replied in a matter-of-fact manner, but I understand he's considered quite a catch. I'm sure he is, Sierra remarked dryly. Rich men always are. Yes, the woman chuckled. Well, you must call me if you need anything. I am always available to you. And with those words, the woman rose to her feet, making it clear the interview was at an end. Mrs. Allen, Sierra said as she rose also to take her leave, are you my contact for any problem? What problems might you be expecting? Mrs. Allen asked in concern. I mean, if the plumbing breaks down or a storm puts the lights out or something, Sierra answered. She suddenly, in a flash of panic, realized the undertaking she had agreed to. Oh, my dear, no, Mrs. Allen laughed. There is a man who takes care of all those things. A man? I thought I was alone, Sierra queried in surprise. The couple that have taken care of the estate for years have a house on the property, Mrs. Allen explained, and Mr. Vanderholt, who maintains the ground in the lodge, is still there. He will be made aware of your presence, but I doubt you will see him, the woman remarked encouragingly. I understand he is quite singular, reclusive, you might say, so feel free to call me if you need anything. I am a phone call away, the woman promised, patting Sierra's hand maternally, and then firmly led Sierra to the door. Like she was afraid I would come back out of the deal, Sierra muttered to herself as she recalled the conversation. As the miles sped by underneath humming tires on the smoothly paved road, and the scenery became more and more mountainous, Sierra neared the National Forest Reserve that bordered the Tennessee state line. Along with the miles, the initial spurt of enthusiasm that greeted her upon waking up this morning deserted the weary young woman. The isolation of the era and the rashness of her actions began to become clearer the closer Sierra came to the residence that she was to house sit, the place that would be her home for 3 snowy, ice-cold, and all alone long months. And Sierra began to be unsure of just what she had agreed to, or for that matter, why, and more to the point, for whom. You have a cell phone and you can simply call and tell Mrs. Allen that you've changed your mind, she mused aloud, trying to reassure herself that she had not undertaken a completely crazy, foolhardily journey. And if you freak out at any time, just leave, she said to herself.